This board looked like it belonged in the scrap pile. It was badly warped, uneven, and nowhere close to being ready for a woodworking project. Most people would probably throw it away. But I wanted to know something. Could a completely warped board actually be saved? So instead of buying a new piece of lumber, I decided to take the worst board I had and try to bring it back to life. And there was one rule. I had to save as much of the original wood as possible. The first thing I needed to figure out was exactly how bad the board was. I placed it on a flat surface and immediately found the problem. It wasn't sitting flat. There was a noticeable curve running through the board, and parts of the surface were twisting in different directions. This is where trying to flatten a board can go wrong. If you simply remove a huge amount of material from one side, you might make the board flat, but you can also end up with a much thinner piece than you originally planned. So I didn't start cutting. I started measuring. I checked the high spots, the low spots, and the direction of the warp. Then I marked the areas that needed the most attention. The goal wasn't to force the board flat all at once. It was to remove material gradually and keep checking the result. I started with the worst areas. A little material came off. Then I checked the board again. Another small pass. Another check. Slowly, the surface started changing. But there was still a problem. The board wasn't only curved. It was twisted. One corner was sitting higher than the opposite corner. And that meant simply flattening the top surface wasn't going to completely solve the problem. I had to work on the reference surfaces carefully. This part required patience because every pass changed the way the board sat on the work surface. Too aggressive, and I could lose more material than necessary. Too conservative, and the board might never become usable. So I kept working gradually. Pass after pass. Check after check. And eventually, something interesting happened. The board started sitting noticeably flatter. It wasn't perfect yet. But it was finally becoming predictable. Once the main warp was under control, I moved on to refining the surface. This is where I could start seeing what the finished board might actually look like. The rough surface was disappearing. The grain became more visible. And the board started looking less like damaged lumber and more like usable material. But I wasn't finished. One of the biggest mistakes you can make with warped wood is assuming that flattening it once means the problem is gone forever. Wood responds to moisture and changes in its environment. So after removing material and bringing the board closer to flat, I gave it time and checked it again. And that's an important part of working with real wood. Sometimes you need to stop. Let the material settle. Then check it again before committing to the final dimensions. After the board had settled, I checked it one more time. And thankfully, the improvement was still there. Now I could finally bring the board down to its final dimensions. I cleaned up the edges, refined the surfaces, and prepared it for the final finish. At this point, I had to compare it with the original board. And the difference was hard to ignore. The original was twisted, uneven, and difficult to use. The finished board was flat enough for the project, smooth, straightened, and actually usable. But there was one final question. Was saving this board really worth all the work? If this had been a completely ordinary piece of lumber with no useful grain or character, the answer might have been different. But that's exactly why I think this experiment was worth doing. The point wasn't that every warped board should always be saved. Sometimes a board is simply too damaged, too thin, or too unstable to justify the work. The point is knowing when a piece of wood still has value. Because a warped board isn't necessarily a ruined board. Sometimes it's just a board that needs more preparation. And this project reminded me of something I think every woodworker eventually learns. Good woodworking isn't always about starting with perfect material. Sometimes it's about seeing potential in material that doesn't look useful at first. This board started out looking like scrap. After a lot of careful work, it became something I could actually build with. So, would I do it again? Absolutely, but only when the board is worth saving. And now that this board is finally usable, there's only one thing left to do. Build something with it. Because saving the wood was only half the experiment. The next challenge is seeing whether we can turn this rescued board into a piece of furniture that looks like it was made from premium lumber.